Hey, it's Miss Barnett. I'm sitting around here at the house on a Sunday night, and I just started thinking, I'm like, why have I never done? I started seeing all these Facebook Live things going on. I'm like, how can I do that for my students? Because I think that sometimes it helps if we would have like a morning message every Monday just to kind of overview what the week's gonna be, what the expectations are, what my thinking is behind whatever. It kind of clears up some confusion, right? So let's dive in together. Let's take a look at what this week is going to look like and see how this goes. Sound good? Okay. Well, first of all, welcome back. I know that some of you have been working very hard to catch up, and some of you were able to take the entire break. And so whatever the case, welcome back. I'm so glad that I'll be seeing each of you now that the way we have our Class Connect schedules, I will actually be getting to see each of you every day. So that, not every day, but every week. All right, so if you are just coming around, I hope that your learning coach has had a chance to look at the welcome back email I sent. And in that was a Google form, and you know that's just the best way for us to collect information. And so that Google form has 3 questions on it. Are you ready to dive in with us? Have you looked at the Class Connect schedule, and are there any concerns that you have with it? So if you have already filled that form, thank you so much. And if that's something that you plan on doing today, thank you. I appreciate that for a quick turnaround. That way I can address any of those concerns this week for you, okay? All right, so yes, the new Class Connect schedules are up. One thing that we've implemented at Hoosier Academy is every student will be required to come to a I-STEP prep of some sort. So that's already been prescribed for you. And so you take a look at that, make sure that that works for your schedule. And speaking of I-STEP, number 1 top ranked question of the returned families: when is I-STEP? Where's my location and what time is it? And I completely understand. Please know that we are in on the same wavelength when it comes to that. As soon as I know, I will be able to message that out to you, and I'll make sure I get a confirmation Google form, just you letting me know that you know where you're supposed to be. But there's one lady that coordinates it for the 50 locations, and she's nailing down the last details of trying to get places that will let us come and bring our technology. And so she's finalizing that, and it could be as soon as the end of this week that we will have those dates for you. And like I said, I want you to know as soon as possible, so that will become my number 1 priority once that's announced, okay? All right, so, and actually your first message about it won't even come from me. It will come from her. It will be straight from her mouth, and then I'll follow up with you, okay? All right, and then, so the pacing guide. Let's talk about what our lessons are gonna look like this week. So math is pretty straightforward, nothing major. You do have 2 quizzes, right? On Tuesday and Wednesday, 3. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, you have quizzes. Now these quizzes are, those 5 questions, shot in the arm, did you understand what the lesson was about kind of quizzes, right? So if you don't master it the first time around, how many times can you take it? Oh, that's right, unlimited. All right. Me, and I don't know what your routines are. Everybody's different, right? But hopefully at some point during the day, you're able to check with your student physically and see, did you complete these quizzes? Did you complete? Show me your work. What was it about? Ask them some questions about it. I understand that they are at an independent age level, but at the same time, they need to know if you're their first point of contact, usually if they have a question, and then obviously you let me know, okay? But they do have those unlimited attempts. On English, so English is a little strange. I've got a couple of things I want to share with you. Basically, you have 1 quiz on nonsense is the title of the quiz. And then you have 2 writing workshop type things. So the one on the calendar says that on lesson 5 or unit 5, lesson 12, that would be on Wednesday, that your ad is due, right? So by the way, how many of you realize that this year English is encompassing 3 subjects into 1? So it's a 90-minute block. So if your student needs to break that up, they don't want to do all 90 minutes at one time, that's fine, but just make sure that they are spending the full 90 minutes, because some of these assignments can easily be done in 90 minutes. Some of them, I realize there's bulk to it, so I completely understand, but just make sure that they're utilizing. Some days will be shorter, just naturally. Some days will take the full 90 minutes naturally, right? All right, so there is the ad, but they want you to create it on Wednesday, and we're actually not going to we're not going to be grading those for like till next Wednesday, right? So it's not going to be considered late unless when I check next Wednesday, it's not turned in. All right, so that's going to give you some time, some breathing room, but this is due for this week. But what happens is you create it on Wednesday, and then Friday you give an oral presentation. Now, something I don't know if everybody knows about me, I actually homeschooled from 5th grade all the way to 12th grade. And so these type of assignments, my mom had to be the one I gave my oral presentation to, right? So even though that there's not a way that I can physically listen to each student this week on those, I would like the learning coaches to let them do the oral presentation to you. I'll make sure that I send you the rubric that goes along with that, and part of the Google form that I send you this week in this email will be your grade that you've given them. Now that grade will go as a bonus point towards their scores for this semester, okay? So I'll create a bonus point opportunity. I mean, I'm giving bonus points out left and right? There's no excuse for you not to have the grade you truly want. So just take these little opportunities as you can to help raise your grade, okay? All right, and then moving forward, I don't want to, please read the email entirely because I don't want to cause kind of like mass hysteria, right? It's a bonus point. If you don't turn it in, that does not mean that they get an F. That this is just an extra credit opportunity for them to do their oral presentation for you. I hope that is understanding. All right, science. You're all about forces of nature this week, all like wildfires. We know all about wildfires because of what happened in Gatlinburg recently. So you're going to have some background knowledge. Tornadoes, boy, we're no stranger to those here in Indiana, are we? So that's happening. You know, a fascinating fact that I know about tornadoes is I remember reading in National Geographic magazine, and they had a map of the world. You know, just a flat map. Here's North America, here's Japan, here's India, and here's Africa and all those places, right? And they said, look for the symbol with a tornado on it to see where tornadoes happen in the world. North America and Japan. Like, most of the world has never seen a tornado. I had no idea. I'm sure, you know, Africa's sitting around like, hey, we're sure a funnel cloud comes and hits the earth. Right, North America and Japan. You know, it probably sounds like a little sci-fi-ish to them, but that was very intriguing to me, and I think there's a few other places too, but most tornadoes happen, and it's because, well, I hope you find out why. What causes a tornado to happen? And basically it is our climate and our topographical range sets it up perfectly for tornadoes here. So isn't that interesting? Thought so. All right, and history is just a writing assignment. Remember, we take those for work samples, but Friday is a big deal. Semester exam. What? You have some review sessions on, so Wednesday and Thursday are review sessions, and then your semester exam already starting, right? So we're actually not going to put a halt on history. We're going to just continue with history, and you will probably end up finishing history, the first subject that you're going to finish for the year. So we're going to jump right into it. I am not closing down semester one's history until January the 22nd. So if that thought crossed your mind, that's kind of the plan, okay? All right, and make sure you're reading your newsletter that I sent. All of that is on page 2 of your newsletter every week, your pacing guide. Learning coaches, if I could please plead with you and make sure that you are doing those physical checks every day to make sure your student has completed their work. That way, if they have any questions or if they're confused, like, hey, I think I'm turning this in, or I've had students think that they were just supposed to do like slide 1 of English and then they were done, and they did that for 3 or 4 weeks. And that could have been, to me, we could have kind of intervened in there a little sooner if we do those physical checks every day. That would just be wonderful. And I will continue to do things like this to kind of help you foresee what's coming, to eliminate some questions. All right, what else is coming up? Next Monday we have off. Why do we have off? Because it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And he was one of our great figures of history. And you know what? I was actually going to send you a poster of one of his famous quotes, and I couldn't pick just one. So I will be sending, I'm not sure which one, but just so you could print out and post in your bedroom or wherever you do school, some of the great words. I promise you, there is not a more wise person. I'm getting charged up, I'm getting pumped to change the world just by listening to his quotes. Here's a few of them for you. He says, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Let no man pull you low enough to hate him." There's a lot of hate in this world right now, unfortunately. But if you see that happening, don't go to that low place, right? We need to help pull those people up. Oh man, there's so many good ones. I really like, but I won't waste our time here. Ooh, this is good. Deep thinking, okay? You don't have to see the whole staircase just to take the first step. So you got to have faith just to take that first step. And I know that you've got, especially this year, you might not know what it's going to end up as being, but just take that first step. Just this morning, just open up that laptop, fire up your lessons, and get started this morning. And great things are in store. Okay? Also, I thought it's kind of fun to celebrate weird, wacky holidays. Like, there's things that happen that we would never know about. And I found one of those wacky calendars. And just a couple things that I didn't know about. But today, which will be tomorrow for me, but the 9th of January, which is Monday, it's Static Electricity Day. Did you know that? So find yourself a balloon and rub it on your hair and stick it to a wall in honor of Static Electricity Day. It is Word Nerd Day. Can you stump someone in your family today with a word that they don't know? And then, how appropriate, it is Clean Off of Your Desk Day. So that's right, get rid of all your junk. I'm gonna have to do the same over here. So get rid of all your junk, clean off your desk. It's National Clean Off Your Desk Day. So, and there's so many different fun ones, but I did notice that on next Sunday, it's Celebrate Strawberry Ice Cream National Day, right? National Strawberry Ice Cream Day. It's happening next Sunday night. So tell your family, starting a new tradition. We are celebrating this Strawberry Ice Cream Day. So they'll be impressed. All right, so lots of fun things going on. Let me see if I've missed anything else. Oh, okay. So I gave you guys a challenge to complete some winter packets for me. And I wanted you to see what you could complete by January the 3rd, and I had 2 submissions. So I have some shout outs for you. Josiah Keeney, or I think it's Kenny is how you pronounce it, sorry. She turned in several pages of work for bonus points, and so did Gabriel Armstrong. So shout out to you two for your hard work. Those bonus points are coming. As a part of this email, please make sure you're digging around. Google Forms are my favorite, just because, again, it helps me collect all the information. If you want a shout out next week, then I would like for you to fill out a couple questions in the Google form. One will be a science trivia question. Even if you just attempt, then I'm going to give you a special shout out next week on our live video. Well, it's live when I'm doing it, not when you're watching it. And then I've got some really cool things in store for that. So keep up with those Google Forms, learning coaches especially, because there may be some chances for you to give special props to your students live on the video. I want to do things like that because you see what the brilliant things that are going on at home that I don't get a chance to see. And so we just want to brag on each other and come together as a community. So I hope you have a wonderful day. We are going to get started. Open up that laptop, and here we go, right? Week 1 officially, and I'll be seeing you in Class Connect later. See ya. Have a good one.